Mamie Ortiz. Ortiz moved into Kathy's house after her family moved away. His name isn't really Mamie. His name is Juan. But when we asked him what his name was, he said Mamie, and that's what everybody calls him except his mother. Mamie has a dog with gray eyes, a sheepdog with two names, one in English and one in Spanish. The dog is big, like a man dressed in a dog suit, and runs the same way its owner does, clumsy and wild, with all the limbs flopping all over the place like untied shoes. Kathy's father built the house Mamie moved into. It's wooden. Inside, the floor is slant. Some rooms uphill, some down, and there are no closets. Out front, there are 21 steps, all lopsided and jutting like crooked teeth. Made that way on purpose, Kathy said, so the rain will slide off. And when Mamie's mama calls from the doorway, Mamie goes scrambling up the 21 wooden stairs with the dog with two names scrambling after him. Around the back is a yard, mostly dirt, and a greasy bunch of boards that used to be a garage. What you remember most is this tree, huge with fat arms and mighty families of squirrels in the higher branches. All around, the neighborhoods of roofs, black tarred and A-framed, and in their gutters, the balls that never came back down to earth. Down at the base of the tree, the dog with two names barks into the empty air, and there at the end of the block, looking smaller still, our house, with its feet tucked under like a cat. This is the tree we chose for the first annual Tarzan jumping contest. Mamie won, and broke both arms. Louis, his cousin, and his other cousin. Downstairs from Mamie's is a basement apartment that Mamie's mother fixed up and rented to a Puerto Rican family, Louis's family. Louis is the oldest in a family of little sisters. He's my brother's friend, really, but I know he has two cousins and that his t-shirts never stay tucked in his pants. Louis's girl cousin is older than us. She lives with Louis's family because her own family is in Puerto Rico. Her name is Marin or Maris or something like that, and she wears dark nylons all the time and lots of makeup she gets free from selling Avon. She can't come out. Gotta babysit with Louis's sisters, but she stands in the doorway a lot, all the time singing, clicking her fingers the same song. Apples, peaches, pumpkin pie, you're in love and so am I. Louis has another cousin. We only saw him once, but it was important. We were playing volleyball in the alley when he drove up in this great big yellow Cadillac with white walls and a yellow scarf tied around the mirror. Louis's cousin had his arm out the window. He honked a couple of times, and a lot of faces looked out from Louis's back window, and then a lot of people came out, Louis, Marin, and all the little sisters. Everybody looked inside the car and asked where he got it. There were white rugs and white leather seats. We all asked for a ride and asked where he got it. Louis's cousin said, "Get in." We each had to sit with one of Louis's little sisters on our lap, but that was okay. The seats were big and soft like a sofa, and there was a little white cat in the back window whose eyes lit up when the car stopped or turned. The windows didn't roll up like in ordinary cars. Instead, there was a button that did it for you automatically. We rode up the alley and around the block 6 times, but Louis's cousin said he was going to make us walk home if we didn't stop playing with the windows or touching the FM radio. The 7th time we drove into the alley, we heard sirens. Real quiet at first, but then louder. Louis's cousin stopped the car right where we were and said, "Everybody out of the car." Then he took off, flooring that car into a yellow blur. We hardly had time to think when the cop car pulled in the alley going just as fast. We saw the yellow Cadillac at the end of the block trying to make a left-hand turn, but our alley is too skinny, and the car crashed into a lamppost. Marin screamed, and we ran down the block to where the cop car siren spun a dizzy blue. The nose of that yellow Cadillac was all pleated like an alligator's, and except for a bloody lip and a bruised forehead, Louis's cousin was okay. They put handcuffs on him and put him in the back seat of the cop car, and we all waved as they drove by. Marin. Marin's boyfriend is in Puerto Rico. She shows us his letters and makes us promise not to tell anybody they're getting married when she goes back to PR. She says he didn't get a job yet, but she's saving the money she gets from selling Avon and taking care of her cousins. Marin says that if she stays here next year, she's going to get a real job downtown, because that's where the best jobs are. Since you always get to look beautiful and get to wear nice clothes, and can meet someone in the subway who might marry you and take you to live in a big house far away. But next year, Louie's parents are going to send her back to her mother with a letter saying she's too much trouble. That's too bad, because I like Marin. She's older and knows lots of things. She's the one who told us how Davy the baby's sister got pregnant and what cream is best for taking off mustache hair. And if you count the white flecks in your fingernails, you can know how many boys are thinking of you, and lots of other things I can't remember now. We never see Marin until her aunt comes home from work, and even then she can only stay out in front. She's there every night with the radio. When the light in her aunt's room goes out, Marin lights a cigarette, and it doesn't matter if it's cold out, or if the radio doesn't work, or if we've got nothing to say to each other. What matters, Marin says, is for the boys to see us and for us to see them. And since Marin's skirts are shorter, and since her eyes are pretty, and since Marin is already older than us in many ways, the boys who do pass by say stupid things like, "I'm in love with those 2 green apples you call eyes. Give them to me, why don't you?" And Marin just looks at them without even blinking and is not afraid. Marin, under the streetlight, dancing by herself, is singing the same song somewhere, I know, is waiting for a car to stop, a star to fall, someone to change her life. Those who don't. Those who don't know any better come into our neighborhood scared. They think we're dangerous. They think we will attack them with shiny knives. They're stupid people who are lost and got here by mistake. But we aren't afraid. We know the guy with the crooked eye is Davy the baby's brother, and the tall one next to him in the straw brim, that's Rosa's Eddie V. And the big one that looks like a dumb grown man, he's Fat Boy, though he's not fat anymore, nor a boy. All brown all around. We are safe. But watch us drive into a neighborhood of another color, and our knees go shakety shake, and our car windows get rolled up tight, and our eyes look straight. Yeah, that's how it goes and goes. There was an old woman, she had so many children she didn't know what to do. Rosa Vargas's kids are too many and too much. It's not her fault, you know, except she is their mother, and only one against so many. They are bad, those Vargases. And how can they help it with only one mother who is tired all the time from buttoning and bottling and babying, and who cries every day for the man who left without even leaving $1 for bologna or a note explaining how come? The kids bend trees and bounce between cars and dangle upside down from knees and almost break like fancy museum vases you can't replace. They think it's funny. They are without respect for all things living, including themselves. But after a while, you get tired of being worried about kids who aren't even yours. One day they're playing chicken on Mr. Benny's roof. Mr. Benny says, "Hey, ain't you kids know no better than to be swinging up there? Come down. You come down right now." And they just spit. See? That's what I mean. No wonder everybody gave up. Just stopped looking out when little Ephraim chipped his buck tooth on a parking meter. And didn't even stop Refugia from getting her head stuck between 2 slats in the back gate. And nobody looked up once. The day Angel Vargas learned to fly and dropped from the sky like a sugar donut, just like a falling star, and exploded down to earth without even an "oh." Alicia, who sees mice. "Close your eyes and they'll go away," her father says, or you're just imagining. And anyway, a woman's place is sleeping so she can wake up early with the tortilla star, the one that appears early just in time to rise and catch the hind legs hide behind the sink, beneath the floor-clawed tub, under the swollen floorboards nobody fixes, in the corner of your eyes. Alicia, whose mama died, sorry there's no one older to rise and make the lunchbox tortillas. Alicia, who inherited her mama's rolling pin and sleepiness, is young and smart and studies for the first time at the university. 2 trains and a bus because she doesn't want to spend her whole life in a factory or behind a rolling pin. Is a good girl, my friend. Studies all night and sees the mice, the one her father says do not exist. Is afraid of nothing except 4-legged fur and fathers. Darius and the clouds. You can never have too much sky. You can fall asleep and wake up drunk on sky. The sky can keep you safe when you're sad. Here, there's too much sadness and not enough sky. Butterflies, too, are few, and so are flowers and most things that are beautiful. Still, we take what we can get and make the best of it. Darius, who doesn't like school, who is sometimes stupid and mostly a fool, said something wise today. Though most days he says nothing. Darius, who chases girls with firecrackers or a stick that touched a rack and thinks he's tough, today pointed up because the world was full of clouds, the kind like pillows. You see that cloud? The fat one there? Darius said. See that? Where? That one next to the other one that looked like popcorn. That one there. See that? That's God, Darius said. God? Somebody little asked. God, he said, and made it simple. And some more. The Eskimos got 30 different names for snow, I say. I read it in a book. I got a cousin, Rachel says. She got 3 different names. There ain't 30 different kinds of snow, Lucy says. There are only 2 kinds. The clean kind and the dirty kind. Clean and dirty. Only 2. There are a million zillion kinds, said Nenny. No 2 exactly alike. Only how do you remember which is which? She got 3 last names, and let me see. 2 first names, 1 in English and 1 in Spanish. And the clouds got at least 10 different names, I say. Names for clouds? Nenny asked. Names just like you and me? That up there, that's cumulus. And everybody looks up. Cumulus are cute, Rachel says. She would say something like that. What's that one there? Nenny asked, pointing a finger. That's cumulus too. They're all cumulus today. Cumulus, cumulus, cumulus. No, she says, that one there is Nancy, otherwise known as Pig Eye. And over there, her cousin Mildred, and little Joey, Marco, Nareda, and Sue. They're all different kinds of clouds. How many different kinds of clouds can you think of? Well, there are these that already look like shaving cream. And what about the cloud that looks like you combed its hair? Yes, those are clouds too. Phyllis, Ted, Alfredo, and Julie. There are clouds that look like big fields of sheep. Rachel says, them are my favorite. And don't forget Nimbus, the rain cloud, I add. That's something. Jose and Dagoberto, Alicia, Raul, Edna, Alma, and Ricky. There's that wide puffy cloud that looks like your face when you wake up after falling asleep with all your clothes on. Reynaldo, Angelo, Albert, Armando, Mario. Not my face. Looks like your fat face. Rita, Margie, Ernie. Whose fat face? Esperanza's fat face, that's who. Looks like Esperanza's ugly face when she comes to school in the morning. Anita, Stella, Dennis, Lolo. Who are you calling ugly? Ugly. Richie, Yolanda, Hector, Stevie, Vincent. Not you. Your mama. That's who. My mama? You better not be saying that, Lucy Guerrero. You better not be talking like that, else you can say goodbye to being my friend forever. I'm saying your mom is ugly like bare feet in September. That does it. Both of yous better get out of my yard before I call my brothers. We're only playing. I can think of 30 Eskimo words for you, Rachel. 30 words that say what you are. Oh, yeah? Well, I can think of some more. Uh-oh, Nanny. Better get the broom. Too much trash in our yard today. Frankie, Licha, Maria, Pee-wee. Nanny, you better tell your sister she is really crazy because Lucy and me are never coming back here again forever. Reggie, Elizabeth, Lisa, Louie. You can do what you want to do, Nanny, but you better not talk to Lucy or Rachel if you want to be my sister. You know what you are, Esperanza. You are like the cream of wheat cereal. You're like the lumps. Yeah? And you're foot fleas. That's you. Chicken lips, Rosemary, Dahlia, Lily, cockroach jelly, Jean, geranium, and Joe, cold frijoles, Mimi, Michael, Mo. Your mama's frijoles. Your mama's ugly toes. That's stupid. Bebe, Blanca, Benny. Who's stupid? Rachel, Lucy, Esperanza.